Well, hello again, my little Rouse's Point artists. It happened again. It was time for me to make another video, and I could not think of anything to draw. Well, fortunately, one of my students made a suggestion. He said, Mr. G, can you teach me how to draw Bigfoot? Well, drawing Bigfoot is probably not something that would have occurred to me. It's not something I would probably draw on my own. But then I thought, sometimes that's the fun. It's the challenge to be presented with something that you wouldn't necessarily draw on your own and still find a way to make it fun and interesting for you, the artist. So if you're up for that challenge also, we'll get started on drawing Bigfoot. Well, I'm going to start my drawing by drawing something that I draw in almost all my drawings to begin with. I'm going to draw an isosceles triangle. No, I'm not going to draw an isosceles triangle. I'm going to draw a circle. Now, after I've drawn my circle, I'm going to come all the way to the bottom of my paper, and I'm going to draw a line that's maybe about as long as the whole length of my circle, and it's right at the bottom of the paper. And from there, I'm going to connect it with a line that's not quite straight up and down. It's not a big curve. It goes mostly straight up and down, but it's got an outward curve. Now from here, at the bottom, I'm going to put his feet, and of course they have to be big feet. He's not Littlefoot, he's Bigfoot. So I'm going to extend this line to make his foot or his feet look nice and big, and then I'm going to put a curve that goes back and overlaps this line that I made earlier by a little bit. And after I've done that, I'm going to erase these two lines right at the bottom because I don't need them anymore. Well, now he's got 2 feet, but to make it look like he's got 2 legs, I of course have to draw a line separating. And this line is going to go up about a third of the way of his body, not quite halfway, a little below halfway. Now he's got his feet and he's got his 2 legs. It's time to draw his arms. So right about even with the top of his legs, I'm going to draw a backwards letter C. So it looks almost like a complete circle. And then I'm going to bring it all the way up to the bottom part of his head. Not way up here, but not at the bottom of his head. Now, if I wanted to, I could put another arm right here. It would probably be the easiest thing to do. But I want to make him waving, give him a little bit more personality than that. So I'm going to put his other hand up here, and it's going to be about the same size as this one right here. And I'm going to draw it nice and light. To draw his right arm, I'm going to make the top of his arm, his shoulder, even with his left shoulder. So I'm going to go like this, and then straight down. The bottom of his arm is going to go about to the middle of his body, maybe a little bit higher than that. And then finally, I'm going to draw his thumb. Just a little curve on the inside part of his hand. So it's ready to, we're ready to draw his face. Now I'm going to draw his nose, not in the middle of his face, but a little bit closer to the bottom. And I'm just going to lightly make an oval. From there, I'm going to give him a nice simple curve for his smile. And then for his eyes, I'm also going to keep them low too. I'm not going to put them in the middle of his forehead. I'm going to move them right down here so that they're close to his nose. But I'm going to make them nice and big so they look cute. He will look cuter if he has nice big eyes. I want to make them about the same size. And then to draw his pupils, I'm going to put them right on the bottom. The bottom of the circle is right at the bottom of the oval. I know sometimes artists have the tendency to put the pupil in the middle of the eye, but when you do that, it makes your character look a little bit either frightened or kind of spaced out. I'm going to draw a little line right here, and then now to show his fur, I'm going to draw a curved line that goes right around the corner of his mouth. I'll do it on both sides. And then I'm going to come just above his eyebrows with another curve. Well, in order to make him look furry, because by all accounts, Bigfoot is a furry character, I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3 little triangles on the top of his head on both sides. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the side. 1, 2, 3. And that's just going to give part of his head a little bit more texture. 3 triangles. 1 triangle, 2 triangles, 3 triangles. Simple as that. And after I've drawn these triangles, I don't need these lines right here, so I'm going to erase them. I'm going to add a little more fur texture to the ends of his hand. Again, just maybe 3 or 4 little triangles right here. Maybe 1, 2, 3 triangles right here at his elbow. 1, 2, 3. And the same thing down here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to give him a belly that's a little bit different color. I'm just going to draw an oval. It goes almost to the bottom of his belly, right to the top of his legs. And I could leave it just like this, or again, I can put a little bit of fur texture. And the last detail that I'm going to draw are just his fingers and toes. So 1, 2, maybe 3 lines, 2 or 3 lines, depending on whether you want him to have 3 fingers or 4 fingers. And then maybe a curve right here for his thumb. Then I'm going to erase this line. I'll draw a line right down here, just 1 line to show his thumb. That's all I need, I think. And for his toes, I'm going to put 3 curves, just like backwards letter C's. And of course, on this foot, if they're backwards letter C's, on the other foot, they're just going to be letter C's. Letter C, There's one of them. There's two. And there's three. Bigfoot has got big feet with big toes, and I think he's ready for some color. Well, there he is, another masterpiece ready for museum. And even if he's not a masterpiece and not quite ready for a museum, I had fun drawing him and I like the way he turned out. And as far as I'm concerned, that makes it a successful drawing. I hope you consider your drawing a success. I hope you had fun drawing it. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to connect with you guys again. And until I do, stay creative, stay safe, stay cougar strong. We'll see you soon.